Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses. From its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop, Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club-style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Here's the latest from the College of Central Florida. On Tuesday, February 22nd at 8:35 a.m., Dr. Raphael Robinson will tell us about Preview Night. That's coming up at CF Ocala's campus. Tune in to find out about the programs, services, and clubs that will be on hand to answer all your questions about enrolling at CF. So make sure to join Ocala Talks at 8:35 on February 22nd.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Friday, Susan Schmitz in the building with me as she is every Friday. We got some good dumb crook news today. Some quality dumb crook news. Kind of like the water boy. Quality H2O. We got some quality dumb crook news. By the way, I do have a great water boy story that we're going to talk about later. You'd be amazed what water boys make in the NFL. Amazed.
Is it? Do you need to change careers?
100%.
You better get on it.
100%. So we'll talk about that later. But downtown, you're downtown a lot.
Yes.
And there's talk about having a downtown parking lot, another parking deck.
Right.
And now, do you know where they're talking about putting it? At the Baptist Church. Do you know where that area is?
No.
Okay. You know where the
I probably
you know
do,
where the Starbucks is downtown.
Yeah.
Come in one block, and it should be right about in that area. It's right behind the foreign car parts.
Oh,
right.
Okay. So it's still for whatever reason I thought it was on the other side of 40.
No, it's on this side of 40.
It's on this side of 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still on the same side of 40 as the square.
Okay. Is that the proper use of the space? I mean,
out of the 7 places they chose, this is the one city staff thinks is the best for future development and for downtown parking.
Well, you think you would want a building there or something to grow downtown, not a parking deck where you can't have stores or another restaurant location.
But there are empty lots around there that you could develop. And there is rumors that one of the developments will be a hotel, another hotel, which makes no sense to me.
No sense.
But
there's a place for the homeless to go, another hotel.
Well, there you go. But I don't think, and I know people want to say, well, the hotel already has 120 spots, so the parking deck is full all the time now.
It's not. We always find spots when we go.
Even though the hotel uses 120 spots, we park in the parking deck all the time.
All the time.
Have no problem finding parking.
Even on the first level.
On the first level.
A lot of time. Not always, but a lot of times.
So I'm not real sure there's a need for a parking garage downtown, another parking garage downtown.
At least not right now.
Right. I don't think there is. Now, but if you're going to build another hotel downtown, you need another parking deck. Because you don't want 120 people in a hotel, take 120 room hotel taking up parking downtown. If you don't understand how intrusive hotels can make parking, go to Savannah. Just go to Savannah. Because around all the squares in Savannah, the historic squares, there's bed and breakfast and hotels everywhere.
Right.
Susan will tell you, she was with me when we went on vacation. No, at any 1 hour of the day, whether it's 11 in the morning, 11 at night, there's very little parking to be found in downtown Savannah.
There is.
Because people park their cars that stay in the hotels, and then you walk everywhere. So if you have a business or anything downtown, you have very little parking options in downtown Savannah. You don't want that in Ocala.
Right.
So if you're going to build another hotel downtown, which I think is a dumb idea, then I understand why you'd build a parking deck. But without knowledge of that's what's coming, the parking deck makes no sense to me. Because we don't need parking downtown, in my estimation. But you're downtown a lot. Do you think there's a need for more parking in downtown?
No. Not at all. I think when people say there's no parking, they're looking at what's on the street and not in the parking garage, which, by the way, there are no signs to the parking garage. So some people, especially out-of-town visitors, don't know it exists. Which, by the way, we brought that up to somebody at the OBL meeting in June last year, and there's still no signs.
Would that be City Manager Sandra Wilson?
That's the one.
I thought so. But there are no signs designating that there's a parking garage.
Right. So when you look and then you see the businesses that have taken over, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think they get a little catty when they're closed, and then they tow people for being in there.
Right.
I think that's a little much.
Ridiculous.
Yes. But I think people look at just what's available at the square and say, oh, there's no parking. Because either they don't know about the parking garage or there's some aversion to it. Like maybe there's some sort of aversion that, you and I are not aware. It's perfectly safe. It's well lit. It's got elevators. You spill out right at Broadway? No. First and...
No, it's Fort King.
Fort King.
Yeah.
Right? And then everything is within walking distance, just blocks. I mean, you don't go more than, 5 blocks at the most?
Literally, to go from the parking garage, to Black Sheep, 4 blocks. No, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 5 blocks.
Right, and let's be honest here.
City blocks. Not.
Well, let's define city blocks.
I know.
Is it like per Atlanta city
No,
block?
no.
Or Chicago for that matter? No.
It's like Savannah city blocks.
Yes, it's literally just a stroll.
Right. It's not to go from the parking garage to Black Sheep.
Yeah.
At the most, you're walking 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
At the most.
Yeah.
To go from the parking garage to Mark's or to Harry's, you're walking a minute and a half. Bank Street, you're walking 35 seconds.
Oh yeah, you spill right out at Bank Street.
The Big Hammock, you're walking a minute.
Yeah, it's just down, not even a minute. It's
right.
30 seconds down from Bank Street.
I think people get caught up in the fact that if there's no parking on the square, there's no parking.
Yes,
and that leads me to think people are just lazy.
Or uneducated about the parking deck.
But there's more parking besides the parking deck.
There is.
There are parking, like there's a parking garage, there's a parking lot, a city parking lot down in front of where Pie used to be in Courtyard. There's a city parking lot right there.
Right there. There's one on the other side of 42.
Right.
Where Salulitas is.
There's a big parking lot over there.
Yeah,
huge parking lot. Right across the cemetery. Huge parking lot.
And all you have to do is walk across the street.
That's all you got to do. Use the crosswalk
and you might get actually closer to where you want to go.
100%.
Like depending on where you're visiting in the square.
But I think people always think if they can't park on the square, there's no parking.
There's no parking. I do. I agree with that as well.
Now, what I would like the city to do, and they're not going to because it's a revenue maker, I don't see any reason for having parking meters downtown. And they do it because they don't want people parking downtown, the employees parking there and just leaving their car there in a parking spot all day.
Right.
I know why they do it. That's one of the reasons. But I don't, to me, parking meters are useless.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I lived in Houston, and this was actually, I believe, in the Woodlands, they had parking meters, but they changed it to all the money collected went to a charity. and they would rotate that charity. So you still paid and you still had to, be respectful of time management. But it went to a charity, which I thought was fantastic. But on the other hand, instead of running out to your car, my second favorite city that I've ever lived in, Omaha, Nebraska, they had parking meters, but they had an app. So if your parking meter was coming up, your app would go off, and you don't have to leave the restaurant or anything. You just add money right from your phone.
They have those in Savannah too. The app in Savannah.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's still allotted your time.
Right.
Like if you can only park there for 3 hours, but you put in 2 hours worth of parking, you still can only up it an hour, but you didn't have to run out to your car.
See, in Savannah, you can park for as long as you want. It's just $1 an hour. Park for 24 hours, you spend $24.
Well, we never went into the parking deck there when we were there.
No, we just parked the car.
We did valet.
And it was underneath the square. They built a parking garage underneath the square.
Yeah, what's the sea level for Savannah?
Probably 8-10 feet. Probably ain't much.
Probably going to flood one of these days?
No, because the way they built it and everything.
The way they built it, okay.
And it sits up on the cliff. Actually, where it sits, Savannah's where it sits is where downtown sits, is up on the cliff. So I bet the sea level there is probably 90, 100 feet. Because remember how you set up, and then River Street's way down below you.
Yes.
That's
yeah, that's right.
That's the cliffs of Savannah.
That's
where
right.
The town sits up on the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have cliffs in Florida, but they do. They did in Georgia.
You haven't asked me about the homeless population yet, or my thoughts on that.
Well, we only got a minute now.
Oh.
We can do it at 10:30.
Then when are we going to talk about Nana?
We'll do that at 10:30 as well.
Okay, we're going to lump her in with the homeless population?
No, we'll do it after the homeless population.
All right.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's time for Dumb Crook News. And it's quality Dumb Crook News. Quality. It's kind of like quality H2O. Quality Dumb Crook News. Plus, we got to talk about 10:30 Water Boys, too. Good night. How much they make. We'll do that. We'll talk Dumb Crook News next. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source. Well, I've missed my cue now, so we'll be right back.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Some of the peaceful Freedom Convoy protesters in Canada against COVID mandates by the Canadian government have been arrested. Leaders Chris Barber and Tamara Leach have been taken into custody. Tammy, a day before she was arrested, knew the repercussions for standing up for freedom.
I'll probably be going somewhere tomorrow where I'll be getting 3 square meals a day, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, and I want you to know that I'm not afraid. It is breaking my heart. You guys, I just